This episode is sponsored by Audible. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word entertainment and audiobooks, and they have over 100,000 titles available for download. Visit audibletrial.com/The Skald Circle to begin your trial and download your free audiobook today. It's time to relax, grab a drink, pull up a chair by the hearth, and have a seat in the Skald Circle to listen to the tale of water and salt from Italian folklore, as told by Mynogan. Before we begin our story, we wanted to remind you that we release new tales for free every week. Our shorter tales release on Wednesdays, and our longer chapter stories release on every other Saturday. Find out where you can hear them on our website at thescaldcircle.com. And be certain to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. That way, you'll never miss out on one of our enchanting tales from around the world. In addition to our reminder, we have some exciting news for the month of July. You've likely noticed that our format sounds a bit different. Not only that, but you may have heard, in addition to our story releases on Wednesdays, we will also now be releasing longer, chapter-length stories on every other Saturday. As if that isn't exciting enough, starting on July 9th, we will begin hosting Fireside Stories with the Skald Circle at 7 p.m. Central Time, every other Thursday. Our Fireside Stories will be a live stream of Casimir and I, regaling you with tales that you may have never heard before, along with some of our witty banter. So if you want to experience what a live show from the Skald Circle is like, that may be of interest to you. You can find out more details under the events section on our website. Now then, without further ado, this is Water and Salt. A very fine story is related and told to your worships. Once upon a time, there was a king with 3 daughters. These 3 daughters, being at the table one day, their father said, "Come now, let us see which of you 3 loves me." The oldest said, "Papa, I love you as much as my eyes." The second answered, "I love you as much as my heart." And the youngest said, "I love you as much as water and salt." The king heard her with amazement. "Do you value me like water and salt? Quick, call the executioners, for I will have her killed immediately." The other sisters privately gave the executioners a little dog, and told them to kill it and rend one of their youngest sister's garments, but to leave her in the cave. This they did, and brought back to the king the dog's tongue and the rent of garment. "Royal Majesty, here is her tongue and garment." And His Majesty gave them a reward. The unfortunate princess was found in the forest by a magician, who took her to his house opposite the royal palace. Here, the king's son saw her and fell desperately in love with her, and the match was soon agreed upon. Then the magician came and said, "You must kill me the day before the wedding. You must invite 3 kings your father first. You must order the servants to pass water and salt to all the guests except your father." Now, let us return to the father of this young girl, who the longer he lived, the more his love for her increased, and he was sick of grief. When he received the invitation, he said, "And how can I go with this love for my daughter?" And he would not go. Then he thought, "But this king must be offended if I do not go, and will declare war against me sometime." So he accepted the invitation and went. The day before the wedding, they killed the magician and quartered him, and put a quarter in each of 4 rooms, and sprinkled his blood in all the rooms, and on the stairwell. And the blood and flesh became gold and precious stones. When the 3 kings came and saw the golden stairs, they did not like to step on them. "Never mind," said the prince. "Go up. This is nothing." That evening they were married. The next day they had a banquet. The prince gave orders. No salt and water to that king. They sat down at the table, and the young queen was near her father, but he did not eat. His daughter said, "Royal Majesty, why do you not eat? Does the food not please you?" "What an idea! It is very fine." "Why don't you eat then?" "I don't feel very well." The bride and groom helped him to eat some bits of meat, but the king did not want it, and chewed his food over and over again like a goat, as if he could eat it without salt anyway. When they finished eating, they began to tell stories, and the king told them all about his daughter. She asked him if he could still recognize her, and stepping out of the room, put on the same dress she had wore when he sent her away to be killed. You caused me to be killed, because I told you I loved you as much as salt and water. Now you have seen what it is to eat without salt and water. Her father could not say a word, but embraced her and begged her pardon. They remained happy and contented, and here we are with nothing. And that is the tale of Water and Salt from Italian Folklore. Thank you for listening to our story. If you enjoyed it, we recommend taking a look at our Patreon page as noted in the description below. You can earn great rewards while also supporting us to keep these stories alive for future generations to come. Also remember to subscribe to us on your podcast application and leave us a 5-star rating if you enjoyed this story. A special thank you to Kat for their support this month. Without your contribution, we wouldn't be able to continue these stories, and we truly appreciate it. Visit theskaldscircle.com to stay up to date with all of our current events, news, and much more. Not only that, but you can also visit our story archive of every tale we have told. It's sorted by origin and region for the convenience of your listening pleasure. Thank you for listening to our story. Don't forget, this episode is sponsored by Audible, the leading provider of spoken word entertainment and audiobooks. While this story is over, you can still visit audibletrial.com/theskaldscircle to begin your trial and download your free audiobook today. Let us know what you've listened to recently on Audible via our Facebook page. We're always looking for new recommendations.